Okay, as a Star Wars fan, how could I not get one of these? Now, I know I promised you guys a Q&A, so let's get started. So just a quick backstory, if you guys hadn't seen, on Facebook I actually put a post saying that I was interested in doing a Q&A video to answer questions, anything pertaining to our podcast, anything videography related, or just if you had a random question, I'd be down to answer that too. So let's get started. My first question, well, I don't even know if it's a question, comes from George. George says, Saraha ha 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 ha. Okay, George, I don't know if that means you're saying this is like Saraha, or if you want me to give you my opinion on Saraha. If it's option one, no, this is not like Saraha. Saraha was marketed as a way to give your friends anonymous constructive criticism. This is a Q&A, it's not anonymous. And if it was question two, or option two I should say, my thoughts on Saraha were, I like the idea of it, but I think, like most things, it was used incorrectly, or used the wrong way. Question two comes from Hugo, my good friend Juice. Juice, how are you? This question is for Brandon. Seeing as how you are a ginormous nerd, I say that with respect, what is your opinion on cosplaying and on furries? Would you ever cosplay? Who and why? Side note, a friend recently cosplayed a Great Rick from Rick and Morty. He was wasted at a con, started cussing people as they took his picture. Everybody loved it. I have cosplayed. I've cosplayed as Spider-Man and Nathan Drake. My opinion on cosplay is I encourage it. I think it's an art in itself, and I encourage anything related to art. So you do you. I mean, I do my video stuff. If you can make great costumes, even if their costumes aren't that great, I think the fact people are getting out there and just, having fun, yeah, by all means, go ahead, you do you. Now, if I could cosplay as anybody, I would probably I'd want a legit Batman costume. Just a bee's knees Batman costume. Because Batman is my favorite superhero. My thoughts on furries, though, I think I draw the line right there. There's a line of nerd I don't cross, and furries are where I cross it. If you guys don't know what a furry is, look it up. My thoughts, just because, I don't know, I think it'd be uncomfortable doing furry activities. Next question comes from Smiley. Smiley, how are you? I haven't seen you since high school, dude. What's up? Smiley says, jump and try to get into different things that go on in the valley. Or so, like per se, fairs, events, racing, etc. A little bit of everything to show people the different lifestyles. It's not really a question, but I do have an answer for it. I think the valley is misinterpreted as a place where there's nothing to do. I think you're a boring person if you can find nothing to do in the valley. I can't say hate, but I despise the words I'm bored. There's so many things to do, guys. Right now, especially right now, the valley is growing. This is definitely worth noting. And I actually would like to go out and shoot some of this stuff now that you mention it. But yeah, there's a lot that goes on in the valley. That's what I can say on that. Chris Nieto says, I have a question. If we learn from our mistakes, why are we always afraid to make mistakes or make a mistake? That is a really good question. If I can break that one down, I'd say that as human beings, we don't like being wrong. I mean, I don't like being wrong at all. But I feel like mistakes can be misinterpreted as a means to quit. I'm going to use myself as an example right now. Back when I started working at the news station, my first month was rough, like really rough. I was having so much trouble, and I mean, it was stuff I knew. It was film stuff. I know this stuff, but it was just, the pacing was so different it was a point where I had to take a step back and I had to really evaluate and ask myself, was I ready for this? Was this something I wanted to do? But I kept pushing, and I mean, it's been a great almost 2 years working there. Mistakes can be dream killers, unfortunately. So I think it's how we perceive them. Either you can take it as a learning lesson, which I think mistakes are the best learning lessons, or you can take it as, I made a mistake, I can't do this, and I need to quit, which you shouldn't, guys. Mistakes, learn from your mistakes, keep on dreaming, push on. Chris, you got another good question. If you could keep only one of your 5 senses, which one would you keep and why? Sight. Easy. I think each one of your 5 senses is key to experiencing life, but I feel like sight offers the most experience. There's so many beautiful things to experience in life, and I feel like sight gives you the most out of it. And again, it's completely subjective because I'm also a videographer, so I kind of need my sight to do my job. Mark asks, Superman or Batman? Mark, if you know me, bud, Batman. I'm sorry. Superman is too much of a Boy Scout for me, and Batman, I don't know. Batman's human, and I don't know. I like his backstory, his villains. I don't know. I just think Batman is a more interesting character. Robert Garcia, Dylan, what's up? Says, Thor or Spider-Man? Spider-Man. If you're asking for my favorite, it'd be Spider-Man. But in a fight, I would probably say Thor. Mark also asks, if you were a superhero, what would your superpower, or what would be your superpower? What would be your name and why? Oh my god. I know for sure my superpower would be the ability to teleport, because it's so convenient. I feel like so many of my not problems, but so many things could be accomplished if I could just teleport. And as for name, the teleporter. I don't know, that's a lame name. I have to think about that one. But definitely I want to teleport. Robert Garcia again. If you were to clear out a room and cover all the walls, floors, and ceiling with mirrors, what will you see? An infinite void of yourself. Actually, be really cool to try out. So I've done it to where like every side, like I've been like a little like triangle, and each side is a mirror. You just see like, you know, layers and layers of yourself. You just see like reflection after reflection, just keeps constantly going down. So I'd imagine it'd be that, but just like crazy amplified. Eddie Rodriguez asks, Xbox or PlayStation? Eddie, come on, PlayStation. I get it, Xbox is cool, but I mean, if you can make something, or come talk to me when Xbox can make something other than Halo. I just like PlayStation's exclusives a lot more. CJ Farmer asks, he's got 3. Mario or Sonic, Rick or Morty, best video game villains. You know, I gotta go with, okay, I'll go with Mario because Mario has played a big part of my childhood. In a fight though, I don't know, I think it depends on the power-ups. Are there any power-ups? Depending on that, I think would determine the victor. If it's just like hands-on or just no power-ups, I gotta go with Sonic. Rick or Morty? Rick, all the way. Morty's cool and all, but I mean, Rick's just an interesting character. I feel like at this point, I've watched every episode of Rick and Morty so far, and I feel like any pickle that Rick finds himself in, no pun intended, I know he's gonna get out of it. I'm just curious how he's gonna get out of it. So he's an interesting character. So Rick it is. Best video game villains. Ooh, that is a really good one. I gotta go with Bowser because I know he's not the strongest villain, but he was the one who teased me the most. Not teased me the most, but he was the villain of my childhood. The one in every Mario game I would look forward to beating. I would climb and climb and climb until I beat Bowser. So I gotta go with him. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. I was kind of hoping for more like intricate questions I could really break down other than this or this, but this was still fun. I do plan on doing this again, so just keep a lookout for that. And as always, remember guys, like, subscribe, check out our podcast, and we'll see you next time.